Hi, everybody. I just wanted to update y'all on what's been going on in my life. I took a little time off, YouTube and stuff, to kind of focus on life. It's been a little crazy the last 13 months. I had a baby. He's actually a year old now, so yay. The other thing is I got my real estate license. So if any one of you guys are looking to invest in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, pretty much the northeastern part of Pennsylvania or in Philadelphia, let me know. I'm your girl. I can help you with investment properties, or even if you're a first time homeowner, that's my jam. But, anyways, this video is really about how to get your first investment property. So I bought my first investment property in 2020, and this was when things were going downhill, but I was very adamant on buying an investment property. So I worked hard to get that investment property. I didn't get any help from anyone. I know a lot of people say, oh, you can buy a house without any money down. It's not true. You need money. Whether it may not be your personal money, but you need money from somebody. So the way I bought my first investment property, I actually used my 401k plan, my 401k money. I had left an old job, and then that money was sitting there. So I decided to use that money as a down payment for my first investment property. Because I told the bank it was an investment property, I had to put 20% down. So I took a loan from my 401k to use as my down payment. I'm paying that. So I'm paying that loan back now. I think I have like 2 years left of it before it's done. And it's better to use a loan versus taking the money right out, because at least you're paying yourself back. It's not really recommended to use your 401k as to buy houses, unless it's like a house you're going to personally live in. It's not really recommended, but for me, this is what worked for me. I ran the numbers, and to me, I was going to get more money long term from using that money to buy real estate than having it sit in that account. So you have to look at your finances and see what works for you financially. If you're a little bit older and like you're in your like 40s or 50s, I would not touch that money. You need that money for retirement. But for me, I was 30, I was like 29 years old. So I feel like I had more time to save up more money for retirement. And also the way I saw it is that my retirement money is my real estate investment. So that's what I'm banking on to retire later on. So I'm investing in real estate now, so I don't have to work till I'm 65. So that was my plan. I don't know what your goals are in terms of financial stability and financial freedom, but that's the decision you have to make for yourself. So that's one way, is to how to get the money, because the number one questions I get from people is, well, where'd you get the money for the down payment? Well, that's where I got my money from. I've been putting money in my 401k since I've been working at age 16. So that money was there. I wanted to invest. So I took out a loan against myself, and now I'm paying that loan back at 5%. When I ran all the numbers with my cash flow, how much, after the mortgage, insurance, taxes, and the 401k loan, how much cash flow I would get from that house, it was over $200. So I was like, that works for me. So the numbers have to work. If you're going to take money out of your 401k, you better make sure that that property is hands down going to be a cash cow, or else you're going to be wasting your money. So that's what I did. The second way to put little down payment into our house is through what we call using an FHA loan. So FHA requires you to live in the house, but you can buy a house for up to 4 units, so like a quadplex. So you buy a house, you live in 1 unit, and you rent out the other 3 units. Usually the other 3 units is going to be enough to cover your living expenses, and because your rent is being paid for, your mortgage being paid for, that money that you would have otherwise used to pay for your mortgage, you can save that to buy your next property. So you save more money in the future by doing this. It's called house hacking. A lot of new investors do it. You only have to put 3.5% down. So your down payment, it's not a lot. And then if you're a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of grant programs out there for people to use too. So you pay very little out of pocket for 4 units, okay? And then after 1 year of living in this house, you can refinance the house into a conventional loan and do another FHA over and over and over again. The downside to doing this is that if you are older, well established, you have children, it's going to be annoying moving once a year. This is really good for people who are single, they have no kids, they can just up and move whenever they want. Perfect solution for you if you're trying to get into real estate investment. But I mean, I've known people that have done it with kids and they don't mind it. It's the new environment for them. They get to try something new every year. It works, and you can scale pretty fast doing that, and you don't have to put 20% down like you would have normally did. So those are like really the main two ways. The other way is asking people that have money, that they just have the money sitting in their bank account, have them loan you money to put as a down payment. That's really the hardest thing for most people with buying properties is not finding the property, it's finding the money to pay for it. Because if you can qualify for a mortgage, then the next problem is finding ways to pay for the down payment. And the best way to get that money, like I said, either get a really low down payment, doing FHA, asking somebody, a friend, family who has money, ask them, and give them something back, that's really it. Asking or borrowing money from somebody like the bank. I don't know. There's no tricks around it. You have to find a way to get your down payment. You have to get creative. Another creative way is to seller finance it, where if the owner doesn't have a mortgage on the house, you can have the owner become the bank and be like, hey, I want this house. but I can only do like 3% down and I'll pay you every month. They're going to be the bank. So that's another way. Or you can wholesale, which means you can drive around, find like really like bad properties that are not in the best shape, but in a good area. You can call up the owner and be like, hey, I'll give you $50,000 for this house. They say, yeah, you put them under contract, and then you flip that house. You sell it to an investor who's willing to pay more than $50,000 for it. You get, like, say you sell it to an investor for $60,000, you get the $10,000, and you can use that $10,000 to buy whatever more properties that you want. So some ways to get into investment: house hacking, which allows you to put only 3.5% down. You can do the traditional way of putting 20% down and just finding a way to get the down payment money from either a private lender, a friend, a rich friend or family who just has money and they don't mind lending it to you for a couple months, and then you can pay them off. The other way is seller financing, asking the seller to finance the property for, like, hey, I will pay you this much every month and I'll give you $5,000 if you give me this house, and you can go on with your life. That's another way. And then the last way is through can't even think right now. So we did seller finance, wholesaling properties. Very lucrative if you know what you're doing. Find bad properties, offer cash for them, put it under contract, market it to an investor, and sell it to them for more. That's it. So all it is like you buy low and you sell high. That's all it is. But I really hate when I see a lot of these like real estate investor gurus saying, oh yeah, you could buy a house with no money out of your own pocket. Yeah, maybe personally out of your own pocket, you're going to need money. Like, it's a lie. You need money to buy real estate no matter what. It may not be money from your pocket, but it's coming from somewhere. So you just have to get creative where you're going to get that money from. That's it. That's the secret. Finding where to get the down payment money. That's it. If I could find the magic answer, I'd have like 600 freaking properties right now. It's not that. It's simple, but it's not easy. That's it. But yeah, so if you know anyone who's looking to get an investment property or even buy a house because they're tired of renting, have them hit me up. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And yes, I'm still practicing as a nurse practitioner. Yes, I'm doing both because I love it. I love real estate and I love medicine. Why can't I do both? All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.